How's it going, YouTube? This is my hydraulic brake conversion for my Roadrunner V3. This is the bracket that came with the nut hydraulic brakes, but they were a little too tall and they barely touched the rotor. So I went ahead and used the bracket that came with the Roadrunner, the original factory bracket, and then I put the nut hydraulic brake caliper on top of that, and I added a washer, and it seems to work fine. No scraping or anything, and there's still a good bite on the rotor. So then just follow the original brake cable up to the brake handle. Take off the weather stripping and the wire loom and the Velcro straps, so that way you can separate that brake cable. When you're cutting the zip ties, if there are zip ties, just be careful you don't snip any of the wires. So you just want to separate that brake cable from everything else. So you're going to make your way all the way up to the top of the handlebars. Make sure you separate that brake cable. Just taking off the grips here. I'm taking off the rear view mirror. And we're almost complete with that factory brake lever, factory brake removal. This is the motor sensor. When you get your brake kit, or when you're looking for one, make sure it has that 3-pin red plug for the motor sensor. And since we have to remove that cable and it's routed through some of the wire holders, cable holders, I went ahead and took off the factory brake caliper just so it's easier to slip through some of those holes. So the brake handle's off. You can just make sure everything comes off good. Don't force anything. And the brake cable is off. So we got the nut hydraulic brake handle here, just test fitting it. There's the motor cutoff wire, and that will plug in to the factory motor sensor wire. Here I'm just rerouting the nut hydraulic brake cable just through those same spots of where the original cable was. It's pretty easy, don't force anything. Just rerouting the cable, making my way up to the front and to the top of the handlebars. It's fairly easy, don't force anything. And the kit, this kit is a little, the cable's too long, so we will be shortening that. So just get a quick measurement of where you want the cable to be cut. If it is too long, most likely it'll be too long. You could, if you don't want to deal with all that, because the cable, the brake kit actually is already set up for everything. So if you don't want to deal with it, you could wrap the cable around the frame and like reroute it to take up some of that slack. But in my case, I wanted it pretty clean. I don't want to wrap around the frame and loop it. So I'm measuring it here, and I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to transfer over the pieces that we need from the factory. I'm sorry, from the nut hydraulic brake cable. We're just going to transfer over the piece that we need after we cut it. So that's a brake bleed kit, available on Amazon. Super cheap, maybe like 10-15 bucks. I do have a cable cutter, which you see in the back there, a green piece. That will make a completely flush. There's a cutter. I have that from a previous project, so it's just a cable cutter. It makes a complete flush cut, which is what you need, because you don't want any air escaping, or I'm sorry, you don't want any oil escaping and any air getting in, so you want it completely flush. So here we made that cut. Now at the tip of that, we need that piece to go onto the newly fresh cable that we could just cut. So we're going to take this piece off. Just be careful. I did screw this part up, which you'll see in a few minutes. So I'm just kind of scraping off some of the tip of that wire so we can take off that metal piece. Just be careful because there's a couple layers there. I end up not scraping it enough, and I try to pull it out, and I ended up breaking this metal piece. And this is how you not do it correctly. So I pulled off that piece. I thought it was loose enough, but it was not. Pulled it off and it actually snapped and it broke. So we need that piece to go into the newly fresh cut brake cable. So I ended up going to the bike shop and getting another one. This is the broken piece. Just showing you what can happen and how not to do it. Alright, next day or a couple days after from the bike shop. That's the barb and needle, I think is what you call it. That's what you need from the bike shop. Just make sure it's the right one for the brake kit that you have. So here, this is the freshly cut brake cable. I got the new piece from the bike shop, the needle. So it has to get tapped in, and it has to get tapped in pretty securely. I'm trying it this way at first with some pliers and some wire holders, some cable holders, so that you're not crushing the cable. It keeps slipping, so I have to find another way. Keeps slipping, so eventually I do get it in there. When we do the left side in this video, I'm sorry, the right brake. When we do the right side, the front brake, I'll show you how I get it in there actually. So the piece is locked in there now, and you want to put that black sleeve on there, which will be the finishing piece once we're all done, just to keep the dust out of it and everything. This is the barrel, I think it's called. No, sorry, this is the locking nut, which is going to crush the little washer thing. Sorry about the names, guys. I'm not a bike mechanic, or I don't have too much experience. I think this is the barb actually. So the barb is going to get crushed to seal the brake fluid from coming out. So when you get your kit, the brake handle is going to come with a locking cap. That just ensures that none of the mineral oil leaks out when they ship it. So when you put the cable in, you want to make sure you take that cap off, that locking cap. take the locking cap off, then you're ready to put that new cable in. And you want to make sure you screw that locking nut, and that's actually going to crush that washer in there, and then you put the dust sleeve over that. When you are screwing that in, you want to make sure you're not screwing it too much, just enough. When you feel resistance, maybe a couple turns after that, but you don't want to crank on it too hard because it'll damage something. Alright guys, this side should go a little bit better. This is the front brake now, taking off the caliper. You can go ahead and test fit the nut hydraulic brake caliper on there. Same thing with the rear. I'm using the factory brackets that came along with the Zoom hydraulic brakes. So just take off the caliper. You don't have to take off the adapter that's already on the frame. So the Zoom hydraulic brake caliper is going on now. I'm just test fitting it. I'm not really tightening anything down. I'm just making sure it's not scraping. Again, don't tighten anything down yet. Just test fit it. And then we can move on to the cable routing. Alright, same thing. Just follow that factory brake cable. Take off the zip ties, take off the Velcro straps. Just kind of single out that cable so you can pull off the factory brake lever and brake cable. You're going to pull off that sensor wire again. And everything's ready for the new handle. Okay, so the front brake cable is a little bit too long as well, so go ahead and measure it. Cut it. This is the piece that we need from that factory brake, from the nut hydraulic brake cable. This is at the tip of it, so we just need this piece. So slowly, carefully take off these different sleeves, the different layers. Don't force anything and don't break anything like I did on the first attempt. So this one came out clean. And this is this really helped. This is it's not a vice grip, it's a table clamp. There's a better name for it, sorry guys. It's a table clamp, and I'm just getting that same piece that came in the brake bleed kit. It holds the cable and it helps you from not crushing that cable. So I'm going to put it into the table clamp. It's going to hold it down, and I'm going to tap in that needle piece that goes into the brake cable. Yep, so tap, tap, tap. Don't overdo it. Just make sure it's fully seated. make sure you put that brake lever parallel to the floor, because we're going to be bleeding it a little bit. Now, bleeding it is taking out some of the air bubbles that end up in the line. This is that locking cap that's already on the handle, and it's going to open it up so that we can put that new cable in. There's our new cable. So here we have the barb on there, which is the first piece that's going to go in. Then you have the locking nut that's going to crush that barb piece for the washer. And then you have your dust sleeve that's going to go over everything. So just try to keep it in that order. You're going to screw on the locking nut, hand tight, then you're going to get your wrench, and you're going to screw it down. You don't want to over tighten it, you don't want to mash on it too much. Just enough so that you get resistance, and then maybe a little more. I don't have a torque limiter or anything like that. I'm just doing it hand tight pretty much. Not really finger tight, just hand tight.
Huh? Okay, get ready. Okay, don't take forever.
So here everything's in, the locking nuts in there, and I'm just pressing on the handle and I'm making sure there's no leaking of oil. If you don't see any oil, you should be good to go.
Get up so you can get your bike ready.
So no visible oil leaks, should be good to go, and move on to brake bleeding. This is the locking screw for the brake bleed port. Just take that off, and we're going to screw on a little bleed cup from the brake bleed kit. You just screw it on. This little plunger that you just leave on for now, fill it up with some mineral oil because we want to see the air bubbles come out. Take the plunger off. And you'll see if there are a lot of air bubbles, you'll see them come up when you squeeze the handle. So just keep squeezing the handle and let all those air bubbles come up. Put the plunger back in so you don't lose any of that mineral oil, so it doesn't spill everywhere.
Does Jaden have a
And
helmet?
just screw off that brake bleed cup.
Probably not.
Should be good to
Does Jaden
go.
have a helmet?
You're going to put the locking nut, locking screw back in there. The brake lever should feel good. Nice and smooth. Now, just clean up all the wires. I'm going to put the sensor back on. Clean up all the wires, and we're pretty much good to go. I'm just trying to show you guys the dual piston hydraulic brake. Everything's working. The front did go a little bit smoother. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you guys for watching the video. This is again the Roadrunner V3 hydraulic brake, full hydraulic brake conversion to nut hydraulic brakes. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.